Hello, friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Roll. All right, so it's Monday morning. I don't know how many of you watched my live stream yesterday, but I broke some news yesterday. I've got a job interview set up on Wednesday. I'm very excited about this. This is one of 3 companies that I've been trying to get something going with, and I think this one might be maybe the one for me. So next couple days for me are going to kind of be prep work for getting ready for that. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make sure all my clothes fit and all that. Make sure, probably go out and get a haircut or something like that. I'm getting a little fuzzy up here. And first thing I got to do though is I'm going to run over to Kinko's and get some copies made of my resume. One of the things I learned in those seminars I took a few weeks ago is that you want to bring multiple copies of your resume and your reference sheet with you when you go to the interview, just so every time you meet somebody you can hand them a resume, you can hand them a reference sheet so they know where to go. So I had printed out some resumes in the past for the first job, that QA job that I was going for. That didn't seem to amount to anything, and I made a special resume for this job that specifically geared my accomplishments to stuff that would be relative to this job. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out and print about 4 copies of that and maybe 10 copies of my reference sheet, just so that I have that so that I can pass it out to anyone I meet on Wednesday. So let's start with that. All right, so I got back from the printing place and got all my got the new resumes printed out properly and a bunch of separate reference sheets. So I'm ready for that aspect of things. I then went upstairs and tried to try on my clothing just to make sure everything fits. And that's where I found another problem. I knew this was going to possibly be an issue, which is why I wanted to kind of try it out a couple days early. All of my dress shirts are just really, really uncomfortable in the neck. Probably I've put on some weight over the years or something like that. But I don't think that's entirely it, because I remember these shirts being uncomfortable when I first got them. So I think I'm going to go out and I'm going to just try and find a couple of pairs of dress shirts. I found several pairs of dress slacks that I have that are perfect, that I'll be able to use, and I've got 2 dress coats that I'll be able to use. I also got to look at some ties, because I have a whole bunch of ties, but I'm not sure exactly where they are. They must still be in the storage locker somewhere. So I think it'll just be easier just to go out and buy a couple of new ties and a couple of dress shirts. So that's where we're going next. All right, so I've never been in a Dillards before, but that was actually really, really simple. I just basically walked in there, they measured my neck, and got me into a shirt that feels really comfortable, and they found me a really nice tie too. So I'm gonna go home, try that on, and I'll let you see how it all looks. Now, when I first walked in there, they asked me if I needed any help, and I basically said, "Oh, I hope you can help me figure out what I need." And basically, I explained to them that I'm having problems with my old dress shirts just being like a tourniquet around the neck. It was cutting off blood supply to my head, and I couldn't breathe and any of that. So I needed a shirt that fit well around the neck, and yeah, they locked in on what I needed in about 30 seconds. So good job, Dillards. All right, so this is going to be the final product. This is hopefully how I'm going to dress for the interview. Got my nice coat on. It's maybe a little bit tight in the belly. Probably got to deal with that, but I'll just have to suck it in a little bit. But the beauty is I can actually breathe for the first time in wearing this. So, you know, yeah, it's a little hot, and this is definitely not the kind of thing I'd want to wear if I was out in the hot sun all day. But, you know, hopefully this will look good for an interview and make me look nice and professional. What do you think? Would you hire me? Everything you've seen up until this point on this episode was actually shot yesterday. Since the purpose of yesterday and today is basically just to get myself ready for the job interview that I have tomorrow, I decided just to turn 2 days into one vlog. So that all happened yesterday, and for the rest of the day, basically I just went and got a haircut, so I'm all nice and groomed and ready for to look good for my interview. I've tried on the clothes as you saw yesterday, and what I'm going to do now is pretty much spend just the rest of the day preparing for the job itself, getting to know the company a little bit, practicing some of my responses to some of the questions that may be asked, so that when I'm ready, so that when I get in and get into the interview tomorrow, I'm really well prepared for this. Like I said, I'm really excited for this. I hope this job works out for me, and so I just want to do everything I can to prepare for it. So that's all I really have for today. Thank you as always for watching. Wish me good luck on my job tomorrow, and I'll see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.